Happy Monday, Brent Tallman here with Fairway Independent Mortgage with the mortgage market update for October 30th. And this is a great update. It's not so scary with Halloween being around the corner. There's lots of good in the market, and that's what we want to focus on. So let's get to the rates. The average rate, according to Mortgage News Daily, that is the best place to get that. The current up-to-date interest rate is Mortgage News Daily. It's a free app. You can download it. Great information, great resource. But the average conventional rate stands at 7.88. That's down by 0.09 from last week. FHA stands at 7.32. That's down by 7.40. And VA stands at 7.33. That's down by 0.11. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into interest rates: credit scores, property, loan amount, lock-in period, LTVs, debt to income. All these things play a factor in your interest rate. So make sure you contact your mortgage professional that can give you a more accurate quote for each individual scenario. Now, rates are down. I think we are kind of, the bond market pressed the 5% mark. And that's not saying that it can't go past that, but it pressed that 5% mark. So I think we're kind of at a ceiling of where rates could potentially be. So the forecast is that rates will continue to be where they are for probably for the next year. There might be some fluctuations in there. You might get some down into the low sevens, maybe high sixes, and hopefully not too higher than 8. But here's the thing. So the Fed is meeting this week, Wednesday. They're probably going to announce they're not going to raise interest rates, which is expected. They don't control mortgage rates directly. Indirectly, they do, but not directly. So the key is going to be, what does Chairman Powell say after the fact? Do they have enough economic data to show that the economy is slowing down? Now, here's the thing, though. We have things that are counterintuitive to bringing down inflation. There is policies in place. So, for example, this fiscal year, the Biden administration finished with a $1.7 trillion deficit. It's the highest deficit ever. They argue against that due to COVID stuff, but the fact of the matter is, the reality is we added $1.7 trillion to our debt. As long as our debt continues to increase, we're going to have issues there. There's also policies in place where they are pushing for different appliances and air conditioning and all these things. All these things add cost that are going to push upward pressure on inflation. So it's more than just taxes and whether or not to do taxes and all these things. Anytime there's a policy in place that forces and mandates that changes take place, inflation is going to rise. And that's what we're seeing. So with that being said, the market is the market. So I think the good news is we're kind of at a ceiling. I think we're going to be like this in a while. But you got to ask yourself this question. If rates dropped a point today, would we have the market to be able to sustain it? And the fact of the matter is we don't, because inventory is still low. Builders did not build enough homes in the last decade. We have the largest demographic group getting ready to buy homes, entering their prime home buying age, and that's the millennials. And we're talking about millions and millions of people. So the fact of the matter is this: the market could not really take in a huge decrease in interest rates. Because if they did, what would happen to home prices? They would shoot up, wouldn't they? They would shoot way up. So we're still going to have this pressure on home pricing. So that's the conversation that we need to be having with our buyers as we're talking to them. Now is literally the best time to buy, and that's the truth of the matter. Anybody that has waited in the last 2 years has paid more for a home, and I think that's going to continue to be the case. So that's what we got to be coaching them. That's what we got to be talking them through. That's what we got to be leading them. Because of the fact of the matter, rates will come down at some point in time, and if the inventory is not there to sustain it, we'll be back to multiple offer situations. We'll be back to, not dealing with appraisals, not dealing with inspections, all the craziness. So now's a great time to buy because it is still a seller's market, but it's buyer friendly. Sellers are willing to make concessions. Inventory is not moving quite as fast because of the high rates. So it really is a great time to buy. It really is. So if you got a buyer that's qualified and can afford it, now is a tremendous time to buy, because I think it's only going to get more difficult if rates come down and home pricing goes up. And so that's the message that we need to be having, plus all the benefits that come with home ownerships. And with that in mind, that's got to be our mindset. with that in mind, there is some things that we can do to help people move homes in the market. Fairway has a lock and list product for your seller. So if you got a seller that's having a hard time selling a home, talk to them about lock and list, where we could advertise and lock in an interest rate that's going to be better than what the market is doing. That could be a potential avenue for you to be able to actually sell your home. We also have, if you have any builders that you're working with, forward commitment, which allows them to lock in up to millions of dollars in funding up front to get the lower interest rate to be able to advertise that to buyers. And also we have our spec program for builders that have homes that are completed and they need to move. So we do have some products there to be able to help you sell your home, and that's the goal. The housing the housing market drives the economy and continues to make it strong. So what we do is important. How it helps us build our community. It makes our community stronger and safer through home ownership. And so we need to continue to do that. Yes, the market's tough, but one day at a time. We just keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being the best that you can be. Look for ways to serve and help others. And if you can have that mindset, you will get through this market and you will help people become successful. And in helping others become successful, you yourself will become successful. So take care. Have a wonderful week. Happy Halloween. And let's remember, all treats, no tricks. Now is always the best time to buy. Take care.